Hi, Tomas Gunnarson, the gender photographer here again, with part 2 of how to challenge norms and stereotypes with photography. And this part is going to be about diversity, or rather how you mirror the diversity in society in your communication, in your photos. Let's go back to the summer pictures from Gavle municipality, the city of Gavle. Lovely summer photos that they thought should just reflect the citizens back at them from brochures, posters, ads. But at a closer inspection, are all Gavle citizens really reflected in these images? I'm going to be honest and say, in the beginning of this project, we almost made a mistake, or I did a mistake that I thankfully learned from going further with the project. When I created this gender renovation of a very gender stereotypical image of a family enjoying a leisure activity, I was so happy with the result, so proud. I thought, oh, it's funny. The message is very clear. But then I started to think, well, but I could have renovated this family from other factors than just gender roles. It's still the most typical family you see in mass media, governmental photos, in ads, middle class, white, heterosexual, nuclear family, mom, dad, 2 kids. So then I started to think, oh, but if we're also thinking about diversity, is there some kind of checklist you could use? And in Swedish law, the Discrimination Act, you find a very robust checklist you can use. In Sweden, the categories you can report yourself discriminated because of is gender, transgender identity, ethnicity, religion, disability, sexual orientation, and age. So we did a test run of this checklist on the same lovely summer photos from Gavle. And we found that only 2 of the people depicted in this collection of images seem to be over 60. In reality, 25% of the Swedish population is over 60. We found only 2 people who seem to have a non-Nordic background in these pictures. Same thing there. It's around 20% of the Swedish population who is born in another country. There's also no people who seem to have an African or Asian ethnic background. 0 people with visible disabilities. 0 same-sex couples. 1 seagull was at least represented. And the communications director at Gavle municipality, or the city of Gavle, he said, okay, so we're depicting more animals than Muslim women. Can that really be accurate for how it looks in the city of Gavle? So, I mean, you can talk about the benefits of diversity, but it's really about realism. Is it possible that a city with 100,000 citizens, that everyone who lives there is straight? No, of course not. But if you look through the city of Gavle's image vault and their ads and their webpage, you would think that, oh, there's only heterosexual couples living here. So taking a photo like this and adding it to your communication, I would say, is really about depicting reality and being fair, showing all kinds of couples who live in this city and who live in society and should be counted, reflected, mirrored. Actually, there's a funny story about this picture because we searched for volunteer models through the social media channels from the city of Gavle. And we got an email from Kerstin and Aline that wrote, oh, we're just 2 ordinary culture aunts. That's a specific Swedish expression, I think, that has been married for many years now. Maybe you want to portray us? And the art director for the project, he forwarded their email to me and wrote, oh, look, old lesbian couple, heart, heart, emoji, smiley, smiley. And then by mistake, he sent that reply to them. And then he sat and blushed, very, very embarrassed, because maybe I would expect that could have felt a little bit exoticizing. But thankfully, they still wanted to be in the project. So visibility is very important in combating discrimination, prejudice, stereotypes, because if you don't actually see people from certain, often underrepresented or forgotten groups, then only stereotypes fill the void. So therefore, we for example, portrayed a young transgender boy. Transgender people are a very misunderstood and discriminated group of people in society. And lifting up their stories, portraits, voices, is a way, of course, of making transgender people more accepted or understood in society. But visibility alone can't really, I think, be counted as equal communication, because that would be, well, how are you going to use these pictures? Just in a photo exhibition, you're still encouraging people to look at these pictures, and the message is somehow, look at these people, they're special. And the message should be the opposite, I think. These are just ordinary couples, ordinary families, so forth. So I would say that it's very important, if you're really talking about inclusive and equal communication, that this image should just be one among many in the flow of images that this municipality, the city of Gavle, produces. And I would say even be used exactly as you would use images of straight couples. Gavle municipality made another photo exhibition 2 years after we released the guidebook, called 100 Gavle Citizens. And you can see in these pictures that the diversity is much better than the summer photos that I showed in the beginning. And also it's just a more realistic portrayal of the diversity that exists in Gavle. You can see there's people of all kind of ethnic backgrounds, all ages, all abilities. And then they used people from this photo exhibition in different ad campaigns. For example, this was a summer campaign where different people from the exhibition got to be ambassadors and give their best summer tips, what to do in the summer in Gavle. And just one of them, among others, was Esther Isaksson, a 3-year-old with Down syndrome. And here I think it gets inclusive and equal, for real. She, like many other citizens, just got to have her own perspective, be the subject, not an object like people with disabilities often are. We're often the object for help from others or compassion, often only portrayed in contexts that are about disabilities. But here she gets to be an ordinary Gavle citizen who has her own summer tips to other people. That's really, I would say, the key to making really equal communication, where anyone can just be themselves, be an ordinary citizen with their own dreams, experiences, preferences, and opinions. And of course, I had to actually take this photo of Esther enjoying the water park at Furik Zoo, because that was her recommendation. The best thing to do in Gavle in the summer is swimming in this water park. And this image is not originally from the actual campaign, but this is an image I took for the international version of the guidebook, but to actually illustrate how you're supposed to treat diversity in a way that's really, really inclusive and really equal. And that's when anyone just can be portrayed as a random example of an ordinary citizen. For more thoughts on this complex subject, please read the guidebook for this project. You can find it, if you don't already have access to it, you can find it at sharingsweden.se/toolkits/images that change the world. And you can always also check in my homepage, genderphotographer.com. Thanks for watching.